Many of us are well aware that trees are great for the environment as they soak up carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. But along with some microbes, they also cleanse the water we drink and clean up the mess that we've made on the planet. In this video, we will go over what bioremediation is, its pros and cons, and how it works. Starting off with a definition, bioremediation is using organisms to clean up the pollutants we left on this planet, such as oil spills and groundwater contaminations. Through various methods that we will cover, those organisms either get rid of the pollutants or make them less toxic. The biggest advantage to using bioremediation over traditional cleanup is that they are much cheaper and minimize damage to ecosystems, since we don't need to dump chemicals into the soil or burn floating oil to get rid of them. However, since we are relying on organisms, it's quite time consuming and needs proper conditions such as temperature and pH in order for them to function properly. We can conduct this in situ, meaning at the site, since it is far less work and low cost, but as mentioned earlier, it is very dependent on the conditions of the site. We can also conduct this ex situ, meaning away from the site, by transporting the contaminant somewhere else with better conditions to encourage bioremediation. But it is quite expensive to transport things around and may risk further spreading contamination. So now how does it work? First, we can use plants or phytoremediation, who are best used to get rid of heavy metals such as mercury and lead in contaminated soil. Plants achieve this in a couple of different ways. They can prevent those contaminants from spreading further, use their roots to filter out those contaminants, soak those contaminants out of the soil into themselves, or convert those contaminants into a less volatile gas form and release them back into the atmosphere. When a plant is saturated by too many contaminants, they are then harvested and disposed of properly. We can also use microbes, or microbial remediation, which is a lot easier to explain, as bacteria and fungi will simply take in contaminants such as heavy metals, pesticides, and oil, and use them as part of their metabolism. Different strains of microbes have different enzymes that can safely digest different pollutants, allowing us to have a buffet of microbes to choose from for the right job. We can also genetically modify those microbes to get rid of those contaminants more effectively, and many of them prefer to attach to plant roots too, combining their prowess with phytoremediation. And there we have it. By using the natural processes of organisms, we are able to use them to help us decontaminate and clean up the pollutants that flood soil and groundwater supplies. With plants soaking up the contaminants and microbes directly using them as a food source, we are able to clean them up bit by bit. The first commercial in situ bioremediation system was installed in 1972 to clean up a pipeline spill in Pennsylvania, and we have been able to improve and utilize nature's cleanup crew more ever since. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for watching, and stay hydrated!